Welcome to Learnings, where I connect you with the educators, designers, and innovators in the sustainable space. Join me in exploring the definitions and technologies that underpin our environmental initiatives. Together, we'll delve into the world of sustainability, gaining insights from those at the forefront of creating positive change. A vast number of office desks and chairs, amounting to millions annually, are consigned to landfills. Although there is a growing adoption of sustainable disposal practices, landfilling continues to be the predominant destiny for used furniture. Today, we'll share the story of Sam Coggin from Coggin Sustainable Office Solutions, a third-generation family-owned business. His innovative approach to zero-landfill solutions provides sustainable methods of both recycling and upcycling these frequently discarded products. This video is done in collaboration with Kanoa, a cutting-edge design tool that redefines the way we create mood boards and planned furniture arrangements. With Kanoa, you can gain access to a unified database of sustainable and pre-owned furnishings, streamlining the entire design process. Experience the future of design with Kanoa, where inspiration meets innovation and creativity knows no bounds. To learn more, click the link in the description on this video.
With what we've been doing with furniture for the last 3 years, by breaking it down, we've been identifying issues with the design of the chairs to be able to go back to the manufacturers and ask them to design them in a bit of a different way, where we can look at the remanufacturing possibilities as well as end-of-life disposal where we can identify the materials better. We didn't realize we would come up against that problem until we started breaking these products down. And manufacturers don't typically look at remanufacturing products or even the end of life process of being able to break that down in an efficient way. So we're just very much used to breaking it down, chucking it in a skip, and then it goes off somewhere to be processed and it's somebody else's problem. What we're trying to do, and the recycling kind of happened by accident. It was because we were seeing so much product coming through and we couldn't reuse everything due to maybe the way it was built originally not to really come apart because there would be breakages and it would become unfeasible to actually repurpose that product. We have to find a way of, well, how can we still deal with this product in a way where, you know, it's the most ethical way and transparent way to deal with it rather than just chucking it away. So we've dedicated about 20,000 square foot now here, where it is just purely dedicated to breaking down unfit for reuse. And the way that we determine that is if the product is of a certain age, where materials like plastics and metals will have become weak or bent out of shape and it can't be reused, and we separate it down. I think, Lance, you've been seeing the videos of the plastic granulation that we do. So we're shredding the polypropylene and the nylon. They're the two kind of main polymers that we see on office seating that can easily be recycled and put back onto the market as a commodity. So the nylon is the base of a chair, generally the plastic base where the casters or the wheels, whatever we're calling them, are attached to the base. We remove all of this, put it into a shredder, goes up a conveyor belt, and then drops into a granulator and takes it down to a screened 12 mil regrind, basically. And then that then gets sent off to a polymer extruder that will send it through their machines, extrude it, pelletize it, and actually resell that to polymer molding manufacturers, which turn it into componentry or whatever else can be manufactured out of that product. So that's the extreme that we're kind of going to with breaking unfit for reuse office furniture down. But obviously before that, we're trying to repurpose as much office furniture as we can before we have to think about that. But ultimately, there's way more furniture being thrown away or incinerated, not so much landfill anymore, especially in the UK. It's more incineration now, energy from waste. I know across the world it's different in different places of the world, but in the UK now we are getting better at not sending it to landfill. It's more incineration. So what we're trying to figure out is how can we work more with our clients to actually repurpose what they already have, rather than a case of having to take all of this furniture, remarket it and put it back on the market. We would much rather work with a larger organization that has thousands of items of furniture, which granted that's only going to work for the larger organizations, but usually they're the worst kind of I don't want to say this, they're the ones that are going through the volumes, right? Like the changes that they're having within these office spaces, they're the ones that are churning this waste out through design changes, trends, etc. So our goal is, and we have two core services that we offer that seems to be more widely adopted, which is the refurbishment of seating, typically swivel chairs, task chairs. That's where the volume is. And then desking as far as resizing desks and refurbishing. So seating, obviously we can go as far as the client wants with that. That's generally where the value is as well. That's where most of the actual cost is in the chair. So most companies that we work with seem to want to invest more in that than desks. But what we're now starting to see is it's not so much just a cost saving exercise, which is what we've been very much used to over the last, I think, 4 decades. We'd come from the used office furniture space when it was a cost saving exercise. What we're seeing now across businesses is they will actually invest more in being able to get a more sustainable end solution to be able to look more green as a business. And rightfully so, they are doing more of a green, that initiative to do that and become more sustainable is going to be achieved by reusing more of what we already have. And that's not just office furniture. We're seeing this within the IT sector. We're seeing it with carpet tiles, air conditioning units. It's not specifically focused on furniture. Obviously, that's our specialty. That's what we're trying to focus on. But there is a bit of a misconception with refurbishing office furniture, and we have to kind of bring ourselves in a little bit as far as how much can be refurbished. We've specifically fixed on refurbishing seating, task seating as well as desks, but then you've got storage units that could be repowder coated. It can grow and grow and grow, but it all comes really dependent on what the client's going for. But yeah, going back to what I said before, reuse of existing furniture is actually going to solve the problem more than trying to clear offices out, get hold of that furniture, then refurbish it, and then sell it on. And it'll also solve the recycling issue that we're having, right? Because there has to be a market there to actually buy the refurbished furniture, which isn't that well established yet, as far as trust and continuity and warranties and all those things. But what we're seeing is easier for the client is, like I said, if they already own it and they have this furniture, whether it's in storage or they have it at an office, and we can help them prolong the life of it at that stage, that seems to be where we're seeing a lot more interest. And that's also where we see more scalability in what we're offering. So as far as finding more information about circular economy, because that's ultimately what it is, I think anyone that's trying to get involved or want to know more about reuse, recycling, remanufacturing, it's very hard to find that from the source, and we're struggling ourselves to find information that's relevant to this. So we do have a section on our website that talks about office furniture and its carbon footprint, and we're really trying to, it's 1 page and it's a ton of information that's just all over it. But where I really learned more about circular economy is the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, right? Where it kind of all started. They've got the graphics and everything else. But I think if anyone's trying to really understand more about circular economy in quite a fun, educational way, Ellen MacArthur is a great place to start, because they cover all circular economy aspects. Whereas for us, if you're in the furniture sector and you're wanting to understand a little bit more about office furniture, it's not that widely spoke about. It's definitely still under the radar. But I mean, you can reach out to me. I'm always willing to talk about this and go into depth on this more. But we do have a section on our website which does break it down, all the terminology that's used within circular economy, but more specifically related to commercial office furniture.